Now at 10, the rain has arrived and some areas could see some heavier downpours. We are in for a soggy night. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden. The radar will be active until tomorrow, so let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank to see what we're looking at overnight here. Rach?
Yeah, I'm starting off with some good news. Previously, there was a flood watch in effect for Fairfield County, but the National Weather Service dropped that already, so they canceled it early. So the threat for flash flooding is low, but it's still a wet night out there. You're falling asleep to the sound of rain hitting your roof. Look at how active, look at all the flooding reports and also wind damage reports that happened today for our friends and neighbors to the southwest. And the National Weather Service tonight is now saying that they are investigating 2 possible tornadoes. I'll say at least likely tornado for Atlantic Beach on Long Island, but also another potential one near JFK as well. So very active. We dodged a bullet with that stuff staying to the south. For us, we are just looking at rain, and it is coming down fairly heavy in Easton, Trumbull, Shelton, and Ansonia. Also, we're seeing some downpours stretch up through Naugatuck, and we can see some through Groton, Mystic, and Stonington as well. I think after about midnight, 1 a.m., most of the state is already starting to see the heaviest come to an end, but there could be a few lingering early showers into tomorrow morning, especially for southeastern Connecticut. And then we brighten things up. But we don't stay bright heading into the weekend. Your full forecast is coming up, Brent.
Little man tried to, I don't know if he was just going to look for an ambulance, but I guess he wouldn't ask some of the other guys what he should do. But he just ran, got on his bike, and he just took off. He was a little hero that day.
Now to a Fox 61 exclusive. An 11-year-old Hartford boy is being called a hero after he stepped in to help save a man who collapsed at a local park. What started as a frightening moment between 2 complete strangers has turned into something much more. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi shows us what happened when these 2 strangers reunited for the first time since that day.
It all happened right here at Kinney Park on a sunny day in July. What started as an emergency call would change the lives of 2 strangers. And now, thanks to an act of heroism, they say they're best friends. A small act of courage has made a huge impact on 2 strangers.
Go to a charter, fish in the ocean.
I've never fished in the ocean.
You want to try it?
Yeah, I want to try it.
Okay.
Algina Brown and Tavion Gaines were fishing at Kinney Park one hot summer day in July, just a short distance from each other. Brown was sitting down on the wooded part of the dock when suddenly he says he was not feeling well.
Didn't realize it was cutting off my circulation, so I just sat for a while, almost sat there for like a half an hour. Then when I tried to get up, I felt weak. And so, feeling that way, I said, let me just make my way to the car. Maybe I'll feel better. But I got as far as to that statue, I held on to it, and everything went dark.
Then he collapsed. People nearby rushed to help, and so did Tavion, who was only 11 years old.
When I hop on my bike, drive all the way over there, and wait in that parking lot, and trying to see which way the fire department was coming from.
While first responders made their way to the park, Tavion did what he could to help.
They just came, I told them to follow me and stuff, and the people just brought him right to that bench right there.
Brown says he'll never forget the boy who stepped up when he needed help most.
Little man tried to, I don't know if he was just going to look for an ambulance, but I guess he wouldn't ask some of the other guys what he should do. But he just ran, got on his bike, and he just took off. He was a little hero that day.
Since that day, Brown and Tavion had kept in touch. They've met up several times, and Brown says he's doing much better. And for Tavion, he's back to doing what an 11-year-old should be doing, being a kid.
Y'all should try fishing out. It's really fun.
Come here.
Now the 2 are reconnected once again back at the park and doing what brought them together in the first place, fishing.
We'll go for blackfish, and that's like starts in October. But I got your information, so we'll hook up, okay?
Now for Gaines and Brown, one thing is for sure. Kinney Park will hold a special place in their hearts and one of their favorite places to fish together. In Hartford, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
Valerie, thanks. A local family is grieving after their loved one was shot and killed. It's the 8th homicide in New Haven so far this year. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules is in New Haven after speaking with the victim's wife, who says there's too much violence in the city.
Keziah Jones says she is tired of the violence in the city, and now she says she doesn't know what to do without her husband of 20 years.
It gotta stop. It gotta stop.
Just 2 weeks ago, Keziah Jones says she and Ishawn Ringwood celebrated their 20th anniversary.
I'm just sad that he's no longer here.
Her husband was killed Thursday morning at around 10:30 on the 100 block of Derby Avenue. He was rushed to the hospital where he died.
Some kind of argument took place between groups in front of the Berger apartments, not inside.
Jones says she believes he was not the intended target.
And from my understanding, that had nothing to do with him.
She says she first heard the shots from inside her apartment. When she went downstairs, she was horrified to see her husband on the ground as paramedics worked to save his life.
And the machine was actually pumping his heart. So that's how I really knew he wasn't no longer with us.
Sparks, a friend of Jones, says he knew Ringwood to be a friendly person.
He was a good guy. People are losing their lives in a situation that's not even theirs.
Jones says they share 2 children together. She says he also cared for her 6 other children like they were his own. She says he'll be remembered as a kind person and a loving father.
He was just like the best brought-on dad. Not as a stepdad, but he was a dad.
Police say several people were outside at the time of the shooting. They're asking anyone who saw or knows what happened to call their department. In New Haven, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Wallingford police say a man beat another man unconscious because he believed that man was taking pictures of his young family member. Daryl Vargas was charged with assault today in connection to a July incident. Investigators say it happened in a Walmart parking lot on North Colony Road. Officers say Vargas hit the victim, knocked him to the ground, and then kicked him in the face. Vargas and the child left the area afterward. He is due in court a week from today. All right, take a look at this fire that destroyed a Southbury home yesterday afternoon. Now 6 people are displaced as a result. This happened on Roxbury Road. Firefighters say it started around 5:30, but they didn't clear the scene until earlier this morning. Multiple agencies worked together to put it out by shuttling water from a fill site and utilizing portable ponds. 2 firefighters were hospitalized for heat-related issues, but they're going to be okay. Where and how the fire started is under investigation now. A new school year means new backpacks and school supplies. And this afternoon, the Urban League of Greater Hartford hosted its annual back-to-school event, helping hundreds of students get ready for class. But this year, organizers are going beyond just school supplies. Fox 61's Priscilla Meza shares more about the mission to make sure families have the resources they need to start the year strong.
A new school year can come with a lot of expenses for families, but the Urban League of Greater Hartford and other community organizations are making sure the students have the supplies and support that they need to start the year off strong. Are you kids ready to go back to school? Yeah! Indeed they are, after this community event helped get Hartford area students ready to head back to class. Not even the pouring rain could put a damper on their mission. For the 12th year, the Urban League of Greater Hartford's Young Professionals hosted its annual back-to-school event, but organizers say this year is about more than just a backpack.
Where we provide hygiene kits, right? We still have supplies and we still have backpacks and things of that sort. Vendors bring out their things, but we wanted to go beyond that. So we have hygiene kits that the kids can put into their backpack.
Organizers say families told them hygiene products were also an important need, so they added those kits along with tutoring and mentorship resources. And there's even a sensory room for students looking for a little quiet and tranquility.
We have to listen to our family. We have to listen to our community.
And the event is designed to support the whole family.
Because it's not just giving away school supplies, we're also providing community resources and things that the families can be successful in helping the students be successful.
That includes health services, housing information, and voter registration, all tied to the Urban League's 5 pillars: education, employment, housing, health, and justice. Organizers expected to serve between 300 and 400 students, and they say the event wouldn't be possible without community partners and volunteers showing up year after year.
People are struggling right now and they need help, and these families need support, so I wanted to lend a helping hand and support the great work that Urban League is already doing for the community.
And even with the gloomy weather, the excitement was easy to see.
I love this ferry even though it's raining currently. They're like so excited.
Organizers say this goes beyond helping out with school supplies. They'd say it gives the students the confidence and support that they need to succeed this year. In Hartford, Priscilla Mesa, Fox 61.
Priscilla, thank you. It was another abbreviated day in court in the trial of Connecticut native Lindsay Clancy. She's accused of strangling her 3 young children in 2023. As only one witness took the stand today, hundreds stood outside in support of Clancy. Her defense says she suffered a psychotic break induced by postpartum psychosis. Brian Yennis has more from Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Hospital chaplain Sheila Kavanaugh recalls the first thing Lindsay Clancy said a week after she killed her 3 children.
She said to me as I held her hand to comfort her, "I am so glad my children are safe." I said, "Lindsay, your children are safe. They're safe in heaven with God."
Kavanaugh met with Lindsay some 200 times after the killings and says she spoke several times about a persistent male voice in her head.
She alluded to having heard a voice, and the voice, according to Lindsay, told her that if she did not follow the command, neither she nor her children would be safe.
The defense argues Lindsay was suffering a temporary psychotic episode and is not criminally responsible. Her lawyer claims she suffered from undiagnosed bipolar disorder and postpartum psychosis, made worse by being prescribed 13 different medications. The prosecution says it was premeditated murder, arguing she planned it, even sending her husband on errands while she committed the evil acts. They claim there is no record of Lindsay suffering from psychosis or hearing voices, not from her medical providers or Chaplain Kavanaugh.
All of these notes that detail every time you interacted with her, you never once wrote that she told you she heard a voice or what that voice said, correct?
Correct.
Outside of court, hundreds of supporters dressed in pink gathered for Lindsay, who they view as a victim of a failed mental health system.
There's no word on why court ended after just 2 hours today. 4 more witnesses will testify tomorrow. Closing arguments are expected early next week.